So, some of you dingoes have been bagging me about this since my luncheon video, and you know what? I caved. I went and asked our fast gamer friend Italy Pasta Man Tyrone to hook me up with some footage for you guys, and as always, he was more than happy to oblige. So goddammit, let's take a look at Spiwitless Luncheon, shall we? But of course, before we go and get started on this absolute behemoth of a route showcase, why not consider hitting that Discord link down in the description? We're trying our best to foster a loving community for all things Yoshi Boy. You can get customized notifications in there for the content you personally want to see. Or you know what? If that's not your jam and you're enjoying these videos, consider subscribing to the channel maybe. There's a lot of good videos in the works, and a simple sub can go a long way towards helping out the channel. But anyway, we don't have time to flap about, so before we begin, I should once again reiterate, this is not a direct tutorial. It is more of a showcase. I don't really recommend this route to anyone, as the only people capable of using this efficiently are like, what, the top 0.5%? Top 1%? I don't know. So don't go getting any ideas, you saucy devils. But let's kick this off, shall we? Keep in mind, going into this, that Tyrone is a speedy gamer. So not only will this video showcase the different route, but it also showcases a whole bunch of tiny optimizations you can make to go slightly faster than the rest. Again though, top 0.5%. As you're entering the kingdom, you may notice Tyrone buffering a spin pound during this cutscene here. That's so we can spin pound at the beginning of the kingdom, just to speed up the movement towards Salt Triple. Then simply doing normal Salt Triple movement into grabbing the moon, and then after grabbing the moon, the movement remains somewhat similar to what I ran through in my luncheon video. But, well, once you get towards the ledge, things begin to shift. So really, it's kind of nothing like the video. The movement Tyrone is showing off here is a more optimal way to get to our next moon. I knew about this movement when I made my video, but it's a small difference and adds a layer of difficulty that just wasn't necessary to show off, but here it makes total sense. So once you're at the edge of the ledge, we time a roll boost at the very corner to get Mario to land here on this graded platform into 2 roll boosts, a vectored jump, into a cap dive, turning the camera and diving into the moon. Then once collected, cap diving out of the alcove, and then cap diving back forward, buffering a spin pound, then spin pounding forward, and instantly roll cancelling towards the right, triple jumping, utilizing big jumps to get proper spacing, then vectoring, cap diving forward, lining up your camera to make things easier, then cap diving once again forward, but I guess technically like left in a way, getting a cappy return jump, diving, and then roll boosting twice off this step here. Then roll boosting into the door at an angle and jumping into the room. This room is basically the same as normal, except of course for the fact that Tyrone spin pounds because he's fast. But anyway, as you exit the room, we have some more optimal movement to our next cliff moon being played out. This movement, especially this roll cancel bounce, is incredibly difficult. I don't even have an input by input basis for this one. This roll cancel is obnoxious. I tried to learn it once as a joke. It's hard. I don't like it. I doubt any of you will like it. Please don't try this. But anyway, using that roll cancel bounce to vector onto the platform and then spin pounding, then making your way up and grabbing the mountain moon same as you normally would, while moving your camera to face towards slots instead of more towards the pot like normal. Then spin pounding and heading towards slots, and then simply jumping into the door. Once we're in the slots room, we see a fancy roll into an up throw roll cancel, all before you can even see Mario, so that we can talk to our slot NPC here quite speedy. Then spin throwing, similar to the method in Metro Kingdom, to grab all the moon shards as they appear to instantly spawn the moon. Then grabbing the moon and diving and roll boosting out of the room. Once you exit slots, buffer a spin pound and roll forward, then more or less instantly long jump towards the right, roll boosting off the vegetables and heading towards the pot. Triple jumping over the pot, then simple jumping up to this pillar moon, then spin pounding and activating the moon. Now, you're about to witness a slightly faster method of this normal salt movement, I guess, if you want to call it that, which can be done by utilizing a roll cancel over the edge of the pillar, like I mentioned in my roll cancel tips video, to cut out a dive you'd normally have to do to cover the distance. Then simply running across the salt pile and jumping at the edge instead of long jumping, and then cap dive and diving, and then continuing the movement like normal. But while grabbing this moon, turning the camera around to face the forks area. There's no Podoboo here for us to capture, as they don't spawn until Spiwit has been defeated, so other movement choices need to be utilized here. Once you've collected the moon, walking towards the edge of the platform, long jumping, then at the end of the long jump, cap dive, vectoring a little, then throwing out and holding Cappy, taking intentional damage on the lava to bounce up into Cappy so that we can cap throw and dive towards the forks platform, then jumping up to the next step, roll boosting and roll cancelling into the door. Forks is completely unchanged. There's not a whole lot more that can be done here to optimize it even further. So once you exit Forks, everything is of course completely different though. Once again, there aren't any Podoboos that spawn, so we need to take a different approach. Said approach includes a jump into an up throw and a dive. Then turning back and wall jumping off this geometry, then throwing Cappy back towards the lava and dive vaulting. Vectoring, then cap diving and vectoring again. Throw out and hold Cappy, then dive while pulling back on the dive. Then once you take damage to the lava, bouncing back up into Cappy, then repeat this process again one more time to get some more distance before finally diving onto solid ground. During this dive, of course, buffer a spin pound, then spin pound and dive up to the middle section. Then spin pound and cap throw dive towards the right, wall jumping, then cap throwing and diving back towards the turnip. Then throwing Cappy at the middle turnip to reveal the golden turnip, then picking it up and throwing it past the moon. And of course, diving into the moon. After collection, buffer a spin pound towards the turnip, and roll cancel into it to grab it once you're right next to it. Then fall over the edge to maintain your momentum, triple jumping to once again maintain your momentum, then jumping over this cheese block, utilizing a big double jump to space the final jump in a triple sequence on the very edge of the ledge. Once you're about halfway, shaking to throw the turnip, and cap diving and diving. Then we throw Cappy into this middle turnip here to unveil the second golden turnip, run around to the back, long jump into it and grab it as you normally would, and throw it into the pot like normal. Then turning around, grabbing the other turnip, and shaking to throw it into the pot as well. Then running into position and grabbing the moon that's grabbed in the normal luncheon route. Then after you've grabbed the first turnip moon, move more into the center of the pot while turning the camera towards the shop. Then just before the moon spawns, throw out and hold Cappy in preparation for a vault, then jump to instantly grab the moon once it spawns. Once you have grabbed the moon, spin pound into Cappy and vault towards and into the shop door. Once you're in the shop, before you can even see Mario, jump and dive towards the shopkeeper. We do this due to the fact that this shopkeeper requires you to be a bit closer before it will talk to you, and this is the quickest way to get close and begin dialogue. Once you purchase the moon like normal, roll and roll boost out the door. As Mario is walking out the door, buffer a spin pound, cap dive towards the left and neutral bounce, then throw Cappy towards the box moon, turn Mario in midair to face towards the roof, then dive and shake your controller to home into the box to activate the moon and then jump into it, being sure to grab it at the top of its hitbox. Once you've collected the moon, cap dive and dive towards this hole in the wall and roll boost off of it. Then continue roll boosting along this line. Once you reach the stairs, stop boosting and begin a triple jump sequence. Starting the triple as close to the edge as possible, then vectoring the triple jump, cap diving forward, and once again, vectoring. Then chuck in a rainbow spin and vector again, then cap throw forward and reveal these invisible coin blocks. And of course, diving on top of them. After you land on them, long jump off of them, wait until you begin to fall, then cap dive, vector, and of course, cap throwing and diving onto the platform in front of you. As soon as you land, jump and throw Cappy up the stairs, then do a dive vault. Vector towards the right, then jump to maintain momentum, and vector towards the left. Then once you're close enough, cap dive and dive towards the moon ground pound spot. During the dive, of course, buffer a spin pound, then spin pound to activate the moon, and then jump up, throw out Cappy for later, and grab the moon. Once collected, dive onto this part of the geometry here, get a Cappy return jump due to us throwing out Cappy just before, and of course, vector this jump. Then cap dive and dive forward to land on the floor, then roll boost twice, and as you approach the corner, spin throw roll cancel towards the right to open up the cap door and walk into it. As soon as you're in the room, spin pound up left directly towards the first Podoboo and spin throw roll cancel to capture it. As a side note, during this whole Podoboo movement, the Y button will be held to make the Podoboo move faster. Then once captured, swim forward, and as you approach the first step, tap the V button to jump up to the top step, then shake boost forward, and once again jump up to the next platform. Then shake boosting towards the right onto this tomato, and then instantly jumping up to this step. Then holding forward and jumping up to the top step, then simply jumping up into the moon. After you've collected the moon and you've fallen down, head up left and shake boost to land on this middle section here. Then just continue shake boosting forward. This moving platform should line up with you just in time. Then as soon as you land on the lava platform that contains the moon, uncapture the Podoboo, dive, roll boost, and long jump into the moon. Then as soon as you land on the floor, open up the map and warp back to the Odyssey. But wait, you may notice we're one moon short. Why are we warping? Well, of course, because there's a fast moon back by the Odyssey. As you're warping, buffer a spin pound. Then of course, as soon as you can, spin pound, pull away from the Odyssey, then hold towards the Odyssey, up throw, and dive on top. This is exactly the same as I explained in my Snowdram video, just in case you're curious. Then double jumping towards the right, cap diving, and diving onto the roof just ahead. Roll boosting twice, then roll cancelling into the Scarecrow and jumping to maintain momentum. Now for the scary part. After the little spawning animation of the timer challenge, begin buffering a spin pound. If you had enough momentum and the right angle, you should still land on the timer challenge. Then as soon as you land, of course, spin pound, we'll jump off the right wall first, then back and forth until you're up the top, where you can simply dive. Then begin tilting your camera down, roll boosting, and long jumping into the moon. We turn our camera here so that we can see the Scarecrow, because after collecting the moon, we want to fall off the timer challenge and land on it to return Cappy back to us, so we can instantly dive back towards the Odyssey, roll boost over the edge, jump up onto the Odyssey, and then once we land, spin throw to grab the globe. Then that's it, you did it. You got through all of Luncheon in the current fastest RTA route, emphasis on RTA. That was an absolute mouthful, so I hope this was at least enjoyable and insightful. And again, thank you so much to Tyrone for getting me this footage to show you guys. His links are down below. And again, so are the links to the socials I mentioned in the beginning of the video. Gamers, today isn't the last you're going to be seeing of Tyrone here on the channel. For those that have stuck around so far, I got a little bit of a sneak peek for you, at least in the way of a hint. Exciting things are coming very shortly here on the channel, and Tyrone is involved completely. So if you aren't already, do consider getting subscribed so you don't miss out. And again, thank you guys so much for watching.